Hi, I'm Peggy Oliveira. Thanks for joining me today. I've heard from some people that they don't feel that they necessarily really have anything to contribute in terms of sharing a story of healing. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that means, because I suspect that probably anybody who is taking the time to watch this video has taken many steps towards healing. And so I want people to get a sense of what that really means. I'm not looking for people to share stories who have gotten to a place in their lives where they feel that there's no work to be done, where they feel like they're perfectly happy all the time and nothing ever really bothers them. I'm not sure that that really happens for anybody. What I am looking for is for people to share things that I know exist within them. For many of you, I've seen it happen. To give maybe some hope and inspiration to other people who maybe are in the very, very beginning stages of their healing process, or maybe even people who haven't even decided to begin their healing process yet. And because typically people will think about therapy for sometimes a year or longer before they actually decide to follow through. And in reading stories of what people have been able to change in their lives, I think it's very inspirational in getting people to also make that decision for their own lives. So in terms of what you might share of your healing process, it really can be almost anything about your life. From the moment somebody decides to really even acknowledge that they were sexually abused and it wasn't okay and that they need help, that's a huge step in your healing process, probably one of the most important steps in your healing process. So if you've taken that step, that's something to share in and of itself. If you felt good about that decision, if through that decision you have been able to, at least in moments, feel better about yourself, at least in moments, let go of the guilt and shame, at least in moments, believe in your possibility for healing. Those are all things worthy of sharing with somebody who hasn't even begun their process yet. And maybe even for somebody else who has begun their process, those are still things that are really important to hear, partly just because you know that you're not alone. So those are all really important things. Some other things that you might consider sharing, and I know that this is true for so many of the people that I've worked with, is when you begin to recognize that it's okay to set boundaries, whether it's with work, with your partner, with your children, whatever it is. If you've set boundaries in any way, that's an important part of healing that would be great to share with somebody. So if you've been able to not allow your children to guilt you into doing something that they want you to do, that's setting a boundary. If you have been able to tell your partner that you did not want to have sex, or maybe that you did want to have sex and you initiated, that's an aspect of healing. If you have started to take care of yourself in different ways, both physically and emotionally, those are important steps in healing. It doesn't happen all at once. It's these little daily steps that you take that get you to the life that you deserve. And every single step that you take is a step in the right direction. Even if you end up having a bad day or a bad week or maybe even a bad month, it doesn't take away from the steps that you've already taken. So any step that you've made is a step further than you were when you started. And that is something worth sharing. So I hope that you choose to share some of the things that you recognize being different for yourself, feeling better about yourself, letting go of the guilt and shame, even if it's just for a moment. For a moment, feeling that you deserve happiness, that you deserve healing. I know in the beginning stages, in fact sometimes for a while through the process, you might have moments of that, but not believe in it fully for a while, and that's okay. That's how the process works. So I'm not looking necessarily for somebody who has, started over here and now they're over here, because the reality is that doesn't typically exist for anybody, no matter what your history is. We're all kind of more in the middle somewhere, hopefully more on this end, but not all the time. So it's not about perfection. It's about the little steps that you've taken on this journey that have improved your minute, your day, your week, your month, your life, whatever it may be. So consider sharing. I know that so many of you have such incredible stories. Anything from speaking up to your partner and letting him know when you need something from him. Maybe you just need him to listen. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe being able to say, no, I'm not going to tolerate that behavior anymore, and you leave the relationship. It doesn't even have to be that big, though. Just recognizing within yourself that you deserve better. That's part of the process. So I hope to hear from some more of you soon. I have gotten a few responses so far, and I'm feeling really excited about it. But I know that there's so many more of you out there who have such great stories to share. So I hope I hear from you soon, and I will look forward to posting in April.